So I don't know if you're familiar with the tech media space recently, right? If you're familiar with the tech media space, right? Recently, Tech About turned 10, and Tech Point Africa also turned 10. And both companies made posts about their journey into the tech media space over the past decade. And one thing that struck me was that both companies had significant issues that they faced while building their tech media companies. And another thing I noticed was that towards the end of 2024, we saw a lot of media companies that were looking for tech sales professionals or talents in media companies. Big Cabal was looking for a tech sales or business development person. Tech Point Africa, Founders Connect, the Flip Africa, and then the Condia, that's formerly Bed Dada. So that was what made us to look into how to equip tech sales talents in building a winning sales and partnerships framework in tech media. And today we have none other than Adeshina Tosin. Adeshina Tosin has almost a decade of experience in business development. He has run the two Moonshot by Tech About editions, where he was able to significantly scale their revenue for the past 2 years. So he'll be taking us through how he has been successful in that role and the tips that can help us as well to be successful in tech media sales. So thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining the call, and thank you to Additional Tosin. So Tosin, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. I
All right.
I don't want to interrupt your presentation. That's fine.
All right, that's fine. So can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself and then your journey in business development and tech sales over the years?
Okay. Good evening, everyone, once again, and I want to appreciate TSPC for this opportunity and for extending this invite to me. My name is Tosin Adeshina. I'm a sales and partnership expert. I'm currently on a career sabbatical for like a month or two. My last place of posting was at Big Cabal Media, where I spent 3 years as their senior sales and partnership manager. And we all know what Big Cabal Media does. That's the publishing going for Tech Cabal and Zikoko. And Tech Cabal and Zikoko, and I think the major product for the platform of where I worked. And talking about my journey, it's been a very multifaceted one. I've moved from logistics to branding to advertisements, then back to tech, right? So it has been a mix of all, but I mean, in summary, it has just been a very good experience thus far. I've enjoyed being a salesperson. I've enjoyed executing my major high-level partnerships for brands, especially for the past 2 years at Big Cabal Media. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Tosin. So when I reached out to Tosin a few weeks ago about coming to TSP as a speaker, he told me that he was on sabbatical, but he was able to make an exception for us. So thank you very much once again for that. So like we all know, yeah, tech media is very difficult based on everything we've seen in the ecosystem. But you were able to do it for 3 years consecutively. Now, I was at Moonshots by Tech about the second edition, that was the 2024, and I saw how big it was. Now, most tech events you go, they hardly even fill out an entire hall. But at Moonshot, you guys filled out like 4 halls at Eco Hotel, 4 or 5, if not more.
Yeah.
And then we had concurrent programs and a lot of speakers and a lot of sponsors. There was one of your colleagues as well. I can't remember his name. Somebody that is in charge of selling the tickets, and it was like you guys made about 50 million naira in ticket sales. So how
Daniel.
have you been able to? Yeah, Daniel. How have you been able to pull all of this out, considering the very hard landscape of succeeding in tech media?
Okay, thank you so much. I think the answer to that question is one size that does not fit all. But let me start from the first thing because I won't love to deny the obvious. First of all, Tekabal as a brand that is known within the continent. Tekabal has been able to build a very audacious brand that everyone on the continent is interested in whatever Tekabal does. But beyond that, every other tech platform also puts up events, but they don't record the success we do. Now, what are the secrets? I think the first secret here is community. Community says that Tekabal is not being run as a company. Tekabal is being run as a community. I mean, at times when you see Tekabal put out tweets, put out stories, people will always come to engage the stories, right? There is a communal aspect of the work we do whereby we talk about what people want to hear. You understand? We talk about what people want to hear. We tell the stories that matters. I mean, our CEO Thomas is always saying that a major mission of Tekabal is to tell stories that matters. That's why Tekabal will always tell the story, no matter what, the good story, the bad story, the ugly one. I mean, I can give examples, stories of Flutterwave. We for almost 2 years, Flutterwave was running from one crisis to another. Tekabal was sharing those stories consistently. And at that same time, Flutterwave was a major sponsor for Tekabal. So imagine you running stories against your sponsor, right? But the question is, these are stories that matter. So we've been able to build a community of a media company that tells stories that matters. That's one. Then number two is the quality of the things we do. If you've attended Moonshot for 2 years, many people might not know this. Before Moonshot, we had what we call the future of commerce. It was the sponsor for future of commerce was Money Points. Then Money Points was not as big as it has become today, but we were like their early adopters. They sponsor future of commerce. So Moonshot was an expansion of the ecosystem, not just commerce. We brought in logistics, brought in startups, brought in VCs, among others. So one thing that Tekabal has done consistently is to run quality events. And our event, I always say editorial events. What do I mean by editorial events? They are events where people come to speak and tell you the right things you need to hear. They are events that has about 6 to 10 content tracks. So before the event, you know what people are coming to talk about. Because one thing I'm going to say is that, yeah, everybody can organize events. But what are the things people look out for in events? People come to events because they also want to learn. So that's why you see that we have a section on what's name on AI. You have a segment on VC. You have a segment on fintech. You have a segment on startups. And that's why I'm sure we have like multiple stages. We have the main stage. You have the startup stage. You have the workshop stage, right? So these are the things that have helped us. Number one, we've been able to build a community. Tekabal has been able to build a community. Then number two, Tekabal tell stories that matters. Number three, they also ensure that their events are editorial events where content tracks guides what people say at that event. So it's not like event of say everybody just like you going to church. Everybody that go to church must listen to the same message, right? But at this event, you have the choice to listen to what you want on the day you want it. So those are the things that has actually contributed to the growth and also the quality of delivery. You can't deny the fact that Tekabal events have the best delivery ever, starting from designs. If you are very conversant with social media now, you realize that a lot of brands that are doing designs now, they are doing iteration of Moonshot designs. There are some flyers I will see online. When I see those, I will like, these people are trying to copy Tekabal. You understand? So there is a quality in what they put out. And that's why, I mean, I'm always bragging that anyone that has ever worked with Tekabal, not to talk about that, is almost 3-4 years like us, they are exceptional materials because it takes being exceptional to be able to work at TC. I know what I'm saying. When I joined the team, the biz dev team, I was the only male. And I knew about 3 people that joined after me that did not spend 1 year. They couldn't cope on the road. The complaint was, oh, this job is tough, this job is tough. And some of us did for 3 years till we said that, okay, it's time to take a break and recalibrate and go on to the next level. So the quality of delivery from TC2 is undeniable. So these are the things that come up together and morph into the quality that has enabled Tech About to record high-level success in all the events they've done consistently and the one they will still do next year. In case you're not aware, 2025 Moonshots, the sponsorship has started. The sales process started last year, November. You understand? So that is how fast-paced the business is.
That's really, really fantastic. So two things that are worthy of note here are community building. So you have a ready community of people that are within the ecosystem, that whenever you put out an event, they are always willing to either sponsor or participate as attendees at the event. That's very good. And then you also build quality products. You know, I was at Moonshots, I took a lot of pictures. The designs were just fantastic. Like, I was actually mind blown. So then the quality of speakers, like Wasabi, this guy,
We had
say on air, so many people.
Yeah.
And then at that video that Big Cabal posted, I saw the quality of people who had worked at Tech Cabal before as well. The likes of Koti EO, Odweweniyi, Iriademi. So many top people. That's nice. Then there's something you mentioned that caught my attention. Now, you make stories about some of your sponsors, and some of these stories are not good. Now, as a business person or as a business development person, how do you manage those conflicts? I mean, Flutterwave would have been probably one of your biggest sponsors in time past, and then you write a story that sort of that's not good for their reputation. So how do you now, after writing this story, still go and meet them and say, oh, give us X amount of money as a sponsor? So how do you manage that?
Okay, thank you. So let me start from this end. Sometimes in 2018, I think, I attended a media training by Adeshina. For those who may not know, I used to be a journalist, and that's the most craziest. Yeah, I was a journalist for Why Niger in their early days. So I spent like about 3 years writing for Why Niger before I dropped them. Now, so I've been on the media side and I've been on the business side. Now, Fisayo said something at a training. The same Fisayo that you all know to be on Twitter, he was then the editor-in-chief of Sarah Reporters. So he organized a training, and someone asked the same question, that how do you write stories that matters and also ensure that people don't get angry? And Fisayo said something that I could not forget. His line was very, very straight. He said, any story that is in the interest of the public must be written. You know why? It is in the interest of the public. Now, let me give you an example. Your sister, somebody is producing expired drugs. You understand? They are producing counterfeit drugs, for example. And because they are your friend, you did not blow the whistle. You know that there is a high chance that that drug might get into the hand of your cousin, and your cousin will lose his life. That is the long-term effects of not reporting stories in the interest of the public. So when there are stories in the interest of the public, you have to write that stories. Let me give you another example. When Michael Denuga had issue with TSPC, this was a very long time ago, just turn up. Globacom was a major sponsor of adverts in Punch newspaper. So he was arrested today. Obviously, if somebody was arrested this evening, for somebody of his status, the story will be the biggest deal the next day. Somebody in Punch shared this story. They said that night they started calling everybody. Oh, they pick up chairman, but you guys know that if you report this story, we are going to pull out our advert. And then Globacom was the biggest ad spender for companies. Somebody in Punch said, when they called, they said the editor-in-chief said, this story has nothing to do with us. Michael Denuga was not arrested by Punch newspaper. He was arrested by the EFCC. So let us inform Nigerians where your chairman is. If you feel like because you do our story, you are going to report, you are going to take away our sponsorship, then take it away. We are not going to die. Now, I gave these two examples for you to understand that there must be an intersection of public interest that goes above profits. What happens to a lot of companies is that they don't know where to draw the line between profit and public interest. When this issue happened, I can tell you for a fact that there was no gloating inside. The CEO did not send us an email or send us a Slack and say, oh, look at this. No, nobody talked about it. The editorial team were writing their story consistently. And it was quite funny that if you look at the Tech About Daily published in those era, you can check our database online, you see it. You see, Tech About Daily brought to you by Flutterwave. And the first story is about Benga Bola. You understand? About maybe somebody in Kenya. There was a lady that sued her in one of these African countries. So
yeah, the CEO of Credrills.
Yes, so this is were happening consistently. And what thing that Tech About did was that they ensured that this thing was in public interest. Interestingly, they never even raised any issue with it that, oh, why you guys doing this? They know. In fact, see, in the next 20 years, I can say it anywhere that one thing Tech About will never do is to collect the money, not to write a story, or to write a story and collect money to bring it down. Never. They will never do that. The first thing is public interest. So how do you manage this thing in summary? How you manage it is that you let your partners or your sponsors know that the public interest is where these stories are going. While I was working at TC, we've seen cases where people will say that, oh, if you guys are sponsoring us, you must not be writing our stories. I've attended meetings with people that say that oh, we are going to give you, we are going to sponsor Moonshot, but I hope you guys not be writing story about us. And I'm only saying that, oh, I'm sorry, I don't work in editorial. I work in the business. In fact, anybody in Tech About today, even though I'm no longer there, I can say to you that there is no salesperson in Tech About that will take money from a brand in order to say and promise them that don't worry, because you are sponsoring Moonshots or you are sponsoring our newsletter or you are placing on our website, we are not going to write your story. What we were able to do was to let these brands know that these things, stories are for public interest. However, there is a meeting point. The meeting point is that if a story is to go out about you, they will reach out to you. So let's say there's a story going out against Money Point tomorrow. We are going to reach out to Money Point and say, this story is going out about this. What is your response to this? So that's why when you look at the articles on the platform, you see that, we still have that, Tech About reach out to XYZ, and they replied. They will also, if you did not reply, they also make you know that they reach out to XYZ and they decline to comment. You understand? So with that, it has shown that it wasn't an issue of withdrawing. It was an issue of say we get our own story written. But like I said at the first point, anybody in media must understand that the work they are doing is not for profit, but for what? For public interest. The moment media stops serving public interest, there is a problem. Look at Twitter, for example. Fisayo has been writing stories about customs for a long time, since last year. A lot of platforms like People's Gazette, Side Butters, they've been reposting those stories, but you will never see that stories on NTA. Meanwhile, it's a public interest story. So the summary is that there must be a thin line between profit and public interest. However, when there is a clash between profit and public interest, what must come first? Public interest. Thank you.
Fantastic. That's quite interesting, but it would also be very difficult to maintain that balance. But I believe you guys that are experienced in the media space know how to balance that already. And I think
talking about balance, let me also explain that beyond my explanation, some of these things at times used to end relationship. Truth, it used to end relationship. But one thing that will always happen in the business is that it's an issue of soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain. If a brand pulls out of your sponsorship today, another brand will come. But one thing that you must not know is that you must not be known as a media platform that sells the interest of the public for profit.
Okay, fantastic. So, if you go online today, right?
Yeah.
Almost everyone with a little bit of experience in the ecosystem now has a Substack, now has their own publication. There are so many that I can talk about now. There is Afri Digest, there is this Osar, I think this guy with Dada hair, I can't remember. His name is very, very long. He writes an email newsletter as well. There is also Tech Next, Tech Point Africa. A lot
Okay,
of them,
mhm.
so many of them. So, and to produce quality products or quality content and to run quality events, you need a lot of money. And then the pricing of your sponsorships will be high. Now, how do you maintain that pricing? I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I asked somebody that works in tech about, and then the person said the cheapest sponsorship booth at Moonshot 2.0 was 1.5 million,
No,
right?
900,000.
900,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually still higher than average that many
Mhm.
people charge, right? So how do you maintain that pricing in considering the competition that is in the ecosystem?
Okay, thank you. So I think the first thing that will always come to play is quality. Quality. And quality brands also recognizes quality platforms. And one thing people don't look at when it comes to this event and everything, when you talk about the costing, is that the cost of executing events is very expensive. I mean, doing events in a hotel, taking up all the halls, booking hotel rooms, paying. I mean, and when you pay for a hotel, you're only paying for space. You have to bring in sound, you have to bring in lights, you have to bring in ushers, bring in decorators, bring in security, bring in clean. A lot of things goes on behind the scene. And in fact, you getting speakers, you have to fly somebody from UK to Nigeria, put them in hotel for like 3 nights. You have to fly somebody from US, flying somebody from South
Wow.
Africa. It's a lot of work that people do not see. Yes, you also have to pay some people too. You understand? There are some speakers that they charge to speak. And even if there's more 10 minutes, you have to pay them. And so if you don't pay them, it's okay, don't worry, it's free. Just book my flights, do my airport pickup. Those are things that will cost a lot of money. So that won't cost money. That's why event are less expensive. However, how do we still maintain this? The fact there is quality brands recognizes quality platform. And because these events are marketing events where people put out their brand and they get a lot of value for it, it will always come pricey. CES just happened in US. GITEX is happening. African Startup Festival is happening. A lot of these platforms are springing up with events, and people go. I mean, brands in Nigeria travel all the way for London Tech Week. Brands in Nigeria go all the way to Dubai for GITEX. These are things that are very expensive. And why do people keep coming? They keep coming because there is a quality that you derive from platforms. I mean, look at Channels TV. There are brands that, despite that it costs millions to advertise on Channels TV for like 1 minute, brands continue to pour in money there. You know why? Channels have what the brands are looking out for. So if TC is doing events and people keep coming, that's why the pricing. Guess what? It is because of the quality. They pay for it and they get the quality. And that's why most times you realize that most brands are repetitive brands. They've come from Moonshot 1.0, 1.2.0, and they are still coming again this year. You understand? So these are the things. The quality of the delivery is what matters. And trust me, if you are the marketing side and you want to put your brand in the right place, you want to put your brand on the platform that matters, it has to be TC. I have seen cases where people will say, oh, we need you guys to report also because we want to raise money, we want to do this. And you know, these investors, when they want to read stories, they go on TC right away. Say, oh, what have you guys done before? What have they said about you before? So those are the reasons. Like I said, but the most important thing is the quality. TC does quality work. TC events are quality events. And because of that, they also attract quality brands.
So essentially, focus on producing quality work and quality content, and then you'll be able to keep up with the pricing and then stay competitive in the ecosystem,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's fantastic. So, in your 3 years at Big Cabal Media, what, how have you been able to build and scale a team? Now, because a lot of people, there is, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of new guys coming into the tech media ecosystem. They are building their sales team. So, what are those things that you need to look out for when you are building a business development or sales team in a tech media company?
Okay, so I think building a sales team in a technical company, first of all, you have to hire people that love the job. Sales, if we are honest, is a very boring profession. I mean, selling it's not easy for you to, because I'm always saying that literally, what if you are a salesperson, what you're practically doing is that you are going to people's pockets and removing money from it. You understand? Those things are not easy. So hire people that love the job, people that have passion for it. I mean, just like you go to church, you see people that are very passionate about sewing. They can preach to you in the mosque, they can preach to you in the bus, they can preach to you at the restaurant. Hire people who are passionate about their job. And when they are passionate, they have a sense of ownership. Let me tell you this. While I was working at Big Cover, if I wake up every day after my morning prayers, the next thing I do is to read TC Daily. If TC Daily has one person opening their email throughout my 3 years there, I was the person. I read it every single day. Every single day, I don't make a mistake. Then after that, I go on Twitter. I retweet every single tweet that Take About has put out on the internet. Because of that, a lot of people knew me while I was working there. So first one to do is hire people who love the job. So when they love the job, there's a sense of ownership that they carry. They will not do it as if they are an employee. They will do it as if it is their own thing that must not fail. So that is the first thing. Hire the right people that love the job. Then the next thing is that ensure there is regular training for your hires. Ensure there is regular training. When you hire people, don't just say because you are experienced, train them. And that's why companies spend a lot of millions of dollars on training. Even if you are the MD of First Bank and you move to Fidelity Bank, there is still a team in that will train you. Oh, MD, sir, this is the way we do things here. These are the things you need to know, sir. These are the things you should avoid. So number one is hire people that love the job. Number two is regular training. Then number three, like I also say, is that ensure there are people that love to push beyond their weight. You understand? Don't just, even though they love the job, let them be able to push beyond their weight, because see, some people just do the job, see, they just want to wait for 25 and they go. No, they must see their job beyond any salary. They must see it as their life. Like, since I've left TC, I can count at least 8 people that have reached out to me, say, oh, come and join us. I know you have left. Come and join us. I keep saying, even today, somebody still send me a dog today. Oh, please go through this thing. I know you are the good fit. And what did I tell you? I said, I'm on this January. I don't want to do anything for anybody. I just want to be on my own, plan my life, spend time praying to my maker, and in February, I move on from there. So you need to hire people that are very, very good and have a sense of ownership and ready to push their weight. Then the last thing, which people don't love to talk about, is ensure that the remuneration plans for your salespeople are good enough. There was a time somebody called me, oh, you want me to recommend somebody for them to work as a salesperson? I said, what is your salary? I said, we don't pay salaries, we commission. I said, no, it can never be me. In fact, I have a personal vow to God that I will never advise anybody or recommend anybody for a job as a salesperson if the salary is not sorted. Because we've seen companies that we say, oh, we don't pay salaries there, we pay commission. No, it's not an issue of this or that. It is both. Salaries must come, commission must come, and that's why you see a lot of companies struggling today. With due respect, a lot of, Baba G. Dedrosha once said this thing on Twitter. A lot of CEOs that you've even seen online, tech company CEOs, they have no business being CEOs. They can't sell anything. Meanwhile, the sales team you want to set up are people you want to pay poorly. No, it doesn't work. And Tech About did a report. I don't know if you can go and read reports. Tech companies that have raised money like the past 3 years, some of them are struggling to do $10,000. That's 18 million naira. That's 60 million. Some of them are struggling to do $10,000 in 1 year. That's 16 million. That's a sales that that's a sales that I can close in a week. And I look at some of these companies, I look at the products, and I'll be like, how did you guys get here? And I think I'm speaking the mind of practical every salesperson on this team. Remuneration has been a problem in every company that I've seen people leave, that they've complained. It's remuneration. You want to recruit. I'm not saying you should not pay your developers well, pay them well. But don't tell me that when you are paying your developers 800K, 900K, you want to go to a salesperson and the salary is 150,000 naira. I give them a target of 20 million. How do you want them to do it? You understand? Yes, we need you to hire people that love their job. They love their job. But trust me, behind an happy employee is a good remuneration. Oh, people don't want to leave Paystack. Yes, they don't want to leave Paystack, not because Paystack alone has good work culture. They are paying money. If it is good work, no, let's be honest. If it is good work culture, there is no company that doesn't have good work culture. Every company can always see that work culture. But if you see people that don't leave a company, the pay is good. I did not leave TC for 3 years. I could have done 6 months and leave. And I know people that already have same 3 years, they've changed job like 4 times. And I remain in one place consistently. You understand? So it's just how the whole thing is. So if you want to build a sales team as a tech media, one, hire people that love the job. You understand? Hire people who are ready to push beyond their weight. Put in place efficient training, not training of say you buy a course for them on Coursera or you buy a course for them on one platform to go and study. No, those things are good, but get all lands training. Bring some physics. See, we are Nigerians, we are not Americans. All this method of getting things done at times is not yet enshrined into our culture. Bring people, let them come and train your personnel. When they train your staff, they will be able to perform very well. Then lastly, remunerate them very well. Don't say, oh, we don't pay salary in this company, we are going to pay commission. No, you know, that is the GNLD. You don't run the company like that. You understand? So that is just the way I feel like you can use to build a high performance system. And beyond that, lastly, beyond all these things, when you're also building a team, make sure that you yourself are a performer. Because one thing about leadership is that when you are not performing enough, you are going to snap off the energy of those that are working with you. I don't know if you get this. You are a team of 4. You are the one leading the team. But let's say your salary, your monthly target is 2,000 naira. You are struggling to do that 2,000. Meanwhile, all your subordinates, they are even eating the numbers more than you. So those things also matters. You understand? So, I mean, it's just a combination of everything. You have a very good team to go. I mean, that's why today you see comments everywhere. Every day on LinkedIn, a company is hiring for a business development person, hiring for a salesperson, say. I mean, if you go on your LinkedIn and just type sales, like the vacancy is even more than the total number of jobs available in the world. Everybody wants a salesperson. But the issue there is the salesperson you want, are you ready to get them to do the job by offering them the right tools and the right environment to get the job done? Simple.
Fantastic. So now let's dive into sales and partnerships proper. Now,
Yeah.
if you work in business development or sales and partnerships here, one of the issues we face is getting the right partners. So a lot of times you get people that, okay, they've indicated interest, and then along the line, they'll just start having cold feet. They will say, okay, they'll start posting you. Some of them will say they are not interested again. And especially in event sponsorships, sometimes, because we at TSPC as well, we also run events, right? Some people will say, okay, they are interested, but they want to also see, before they make the payment, they want to see that other people have made payments. So if you tell them that, oh, Money Points is one of the sponsors, okay, that's when they will now pay. You understand? So how do you identify potential partners that align with your organization's goals? And how do you evaluate whether that partnership opportunity is worth pursuing?
Okay, thank you so much. The first thing is that the first law of sales is to sell to people that want you. The fact that you have a good product does not mean that everybody is fit for that. I mean, that is the mistake a lot of us, including me, have made in the past. You don't sell like you are spreading virus, right? You sell specifically for people that matters to you. So do you know that there are tech companies that they have no business on tech about? You won't believe it. They are a tech company, but I just like, if I say, yeah, I know you're a tech company, but see, beyond you doing press release or article, don't place advert on tech about. You know why? Your customers are not there. I will tell you gladly, your customers are not here. Don't worry. For brand positioning, you can do newsletter advert for like 1 week. You can do a press release. So that's the first thing. Product fit. At times, people sell to those that are not fit because they are not fit. They will not see their value. They will not see themselves in it. And one thing that my manager, Favor, used to say was that, when you are selling to people, sell to them not just as a tech about person. Also, try to switch yourself into their role and ask yourself, will I pay 10 million for this thing? Will I pay 5 million for this thing? So that's number one. Let's ensure that, okay, let's say, let me use TSPC as an example. TSPC has an event coming up. You want to sell sponsorship. Number one is the brands you are selling to must be brands that will see value in your program even before you tell them. Fun fact, we do receive emails from people that want to sponsor Tech About events. They will say, oh, we have seen your advert, we have seen your thing, we would like to know more about your event. They themselves will walk up to with their 2 legs, say, we want to sponsor you. And at times when they call, we just say, no, this person did not fit. And so, oh, this person is a fit. We onboard them. So that is the first thing. Ensure that they are fit into your platform. Ensure they are fit into your product. Then the next thing is you have to expand your lead sheet and your pipeline. So if you have a plan of selling to 20 sponsors, for example, if I sell to 20 sponsors, I expect you to speak to nothing less than 500 brands. You know why? Because the churn rate in sponsorship is always high. Now, some people will give you a yes today. They will ask for invoice. When it's time for payment, problem will start. Oh, so we're so sorry.
Exactly.
So we are so sorry. We push this thing to our marketing department. They said they don't have money. We push it to product department. They said they don't have money. We don't think we can do it this year. Well, let's look at what's going to happen next year. This thing has happened to me before at Tech About. It's not even me. Practically everybody on the team have experienced it. Brands that you give invoice, you will give contracts. In fact, someone will have signed your contract. Okay, let's collect money now. 1 week, 2 weeks. Next thing, you just get those bad news email. So what you can do is for you to speak to as many people as well. I mean, Ferrum is on this call. Him and I, we took a course together at Trevi, and this was one of the things that Chinedu was taught us. You have to expand your lead sheet, expand your pipeline massively. You must be talking to everybody, talking to every company, talking to every person. You have a plan, again, you have a plan to onboard 20 sponsors. If you have a plan to sponsor 20 sponsors, you cannot speak to 100 people. You are setting yourself up for a problem. You want to onboard 20 sponsors, you cannot talk to 200. No, don't do the math, pay is 10%. It will not work like that. If it is 20 sponsors, you have to speak to at least 500. You know why? It is better for you to have more than enough than for you to have less than enough. So what you also need to understand is, like you said earlier, you are not the only person selling. Now, Tech About Moonshot is here. Lagos Startup Week is there. Lagos Startup Fest is there. Jitex is coming to Nigeria this same year.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we're having Jitex in Nigeria this year. A lot of events is happening this year. These same brands have their proposal with Money Point, with Flutterwave, with Paystack, with Learn5, with Sycamore, with Cedar Money, with One Liquidity, and a whole lot of other brands. So it's an issue of them saying, okay, which one should we give money? And there is a chance that you will get a no. You understand? So for you to mitigate against the massive churn rates that comes from sponsors, you have to speak to a lot of people at the same time. This will enable you to onboard quality sponsors on your event, and it will ensure that you float.
Fantastic. So now let's talking about partnerships, right? In the media space, it is always better to have a partner that is long-term, like a partner that can maybe sponsor your newsletter for 6 months, than a partner that, okay, just sponsors for a week or a month, right? So I noticed that at Moonshot 1.0, the lead sponsor was also the same lead sponsor for 2.0. What's the name of that? Sabi, exactly. Yeah, Sabi. And that for me was actually very fantastic. Like, you were able to retain these guys beyond 1 year. And I'm sure you also have other partners that you are able to sustain your relationship for long term. Right. So how, like who? Sparkle, right?
Sparkle,
Oh, fantastic. So how do you manage these relationships and ensure that they are mutually beneficial over time and you can sustain the relationships for a long period of time?
Okay, so this also takes us back to the earlier conversation, quality delivery. Now, I am always telling people that companies don't sponsor events because they have money. They spend what we call a marketing budget. I have seen cases on social media where people say, oh, we sent proposals to these people. They did not answer us. Now that we are now going viral, they are showing interest. No, I don't see any, I'm sorry, I don't see any common sense in it, with that. Nobody is like, nobody has the, what's them, has the, I don't know how to put this word. Nobody has the compulsion, you understand, to sponsor your event. This thing looks good to you. It might not look good to others. I mean, when Udabasi did a cookathon, for example, the person that led that PR team and is still leading it to now, is my very good friend and sister and boss. They got a lot of no. But when she blew, these brands came back. You know why? Brands don't spend money aimlessly. They thank God all of us works in companies. We all know the fights between management and the marketing team. It is like a fight between devil and God. No matter how well your CEO likes you, if you're a marketing team and you now come for presentation, there will be problem. You say, oh my God, the marketing budget is too high. They want to cut it down to ensure that they get the best value. You understand? So what happened is that when you're putting out quality work, it enables brands to remain with you. See, all things being equal, Sabi will still be the sponsor for Moonshot for this year.
Wow.
That's third year running. So quality, when you maintain quality, brands will give you money. Even though you keep increasing your price every year, they will still remain. And that is just the summary. Quality work. The second one is relationship. See, one thing I learned working at Big Aba is how to maintain relationship with clients. See, some people, the only thing they do to clients is say, oh, they just collect money, they reach out to the client, that's all. I'm wearing a face cap now with Kairos Creations. Friend of me knows it. That's my side also. I run a print business. Guess what? Majority of people that patronize me at Tech About are also my clients at Kairos. I have practically converted them to my brother, my sister, my boss, my oga. 1 minute I'm talking to you about TC, you are giving money. Next minute, me too, I do branding. I can do t-shirt for your company. I can do this for you. I can do gift items. Go on my business page, you see a lot of brands there that they are Tech About brands. So what they simply mean is that you, beyond you selling, have a very good relationship with people. You are selling it to Africans. Africans are highly emotional. Your headline sponsor is doing birthday, clock 50 last week. You cannot even send cake of 30,000 naira to her. You can't send a bottle of wine to her. One of the company that sponsor you, that is your sponsor, they just did the raise of $50 million. You cannot just, you all of you in your office cannot design a giant card and all of you should sign, write good message, put cake, put wine, put flower, take it to their office. These things matter. I have attended birthday, burial ceremonies of clients at my workplace, of their relatives. Some of them I've even been to Ogun State before for a wedding. Yes, because you know what it is? Because we're Africans, we are highly emotional, and things that appeal to our emotions are things that matter. That way John, a very great guy. Oh, how he did it for you. When I buy my grandmother in Delta State, this guy came all the way from Lagos. Those things matter. So beyond you selling to brands, ensure you have a good relationship. Don't just check in on people when you have proposal for them. Call them randomly. My chairman, so how you doing today? Happy New Year. How is the year going? I saw your last post on Instagram that you went to Davos. How was it? Oh, it was fine. Oh, that's fine. Just call or check in on you. They've registered you. So it is very easy to now slot in your sales request from time to time. That's why I see a lot of salespeople, when they leave a job, most of the company they move to are companies that they want sold to. Because they build a relationship. So what you do to ensure that a brand keeps coming back for long-term partnership is one, continue to deliver quality work, then two, build a relationship with them. Moonshot 2.0, I still remember this thing vividly. It was inside a hotel, the second day of Moonshot 1.0, that the CEO of Sabi said, we are going to come and sponsor this next year.
Wow.
It was inside the auditorium, it was inside the hallway, that lobby. I was there, I saw this thing happening live. There are brands that I sold to for Moonshot last year that they are calling for Moonshot this year, even though I'm not in taxi. I told my team, I told my people, I said, if you have any issue with this brand, call me. I will call them. Because I have built a very good relationship with them. So the summary of this thing is that when you do quality work, also build quality relationship with people, it will enable you to flow. Nothing more.
Fantastic. I have like just two more questions, right, before we open the floor to the audience. So now you mentioned something earlier about, so like the cost of having these events actually very high. You have to pay some people, bring some people from different countries and all of that. So I assume that there are some of your clients you charge in USD, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, right. Now, and then they may have some objections about that, because in my organization as well, we have clients we charge in USD. So apart from that, I'm sure you will have other objections that people may have to sponsoring events with Tech Cabal. So how do you handle those objections? Because objections, when you work in sales or business development, you must definitely have objections. People must always say, oh, there's an issue. How do you handle these objections, cross these hurdles, and turn those clients to sales or revenue?
Okay, so let me explain here that on the issue of dollar sales, naira sales, if your Tech Cabal has two pricing, dollar and naira, we don't give, thank you. We don't give the dollar rate to any Nigerian company. We don't. The people we give it to are, one, those that request for it, and two, those that will never pay. I mean, if you are selling to, let me give you an example. If you are selling to a company like Demos, we are selling to a company like what's the name? Finance Factory Africa. These are brands that pay in dollars. Also, there are some brands in Nigeria that are paying in dollars because they are operating in dollar costs. You know that when startups are being valued, they are valued based on dollars, and when they raise in dollars. You don't raise in naira. So some of them find it easy to pay in dollars than to people who pay in naira. So there is no issue to that. Trust me. If anybody at TC gives you a dollar invoice, I send that 1 naira, immediately you are getting it. It is as fast as the speed of light. However, there are brands that specifically ask for it. We will never say that, oh, you have to pay us in dollars. No, it doesn't work like that, right? People pay for dollars based on request and based on the currency of that company. I mean, a brand that is based in South Africa will never pay you in naira. They don't even have any access to naira. You understand? And some of them, due to banking regulations, they just want to pay you directly through Mercury. That will say, oh, they want to send money to one app that will convert it to naira for you to have it. So that is how it works. We sell to these brands. And interestingly, when it also comes to selling for events, selling for these things, I think it is also one of the cheat codes is to sell to dollar brands. Because when you are selling to dollar brands, it helps increase your revenue because your naira keeps going down. Your net pressure keeps going down. So let me give you an example. Sorry, 10 million naira will forever remain 10 million naira. But $10,000 as at tonight is 16 million naira. So, call a job between me and you. What will you go for? 10 million naira or $10,000? I know you answer. $10,000. So, because a $10,000 deal has increased you by 6 million naira, while a 10 million naira deal keeps you at 10 million naira. So, that is just a simple response to that.
But there are definitely other objections that you may have, right? I'm sure there are definitely some objections that some people will have when they are making payments. So, or trying to convert
when there are objections to it, we allow them to pay in the local currency, and that solves it.
Okay. So you find a way to manage those objections and then turn it
very,
into...
very simple. Yeah, when the objections comes like, oh, we don't want this currency, we give them a local currency to pay. Another objection that can also come at times, most times, is when people, Nigerians, Africans in general, love to extract value. So somebody will tell you that, oh, I'm going for silver sponsorship, and they want benefit of gold sponsor.
Yeah.
You understand? And somebody will tell you that, oh, we are buying an exhibition booth, but we want our CEO to speak. Like, how? People who buy booths don't speak. You either go for silver or you go for, even the speaking, there is a category to it. You understand? So, but those things always come in I mean, you've closed a deal for $10,000, and you're telling you that they still want to speak in the morning. They also want to speak the next day. So it's an issue. Okay, now do we forgo this money or we create a room for them? Most of the time, we end up creating room for them. And I mean, there's an alignment, because one thing we also do is that when you are closing a sales for a sponsorship, you are not just closing them for now, you're also closing them for the future. I mean, there are cases whereby after we've done event like Moonshots, brands will come to you and tell you that, this person, they might say that that the time they give them was not enough, or when they were speaking, the mic went off. People always give you a lot of feedback, right? And we also manage them very well. Management start from giving them, CEO send them apology message, give them hard credits to advertise on the platform, and everybody is happy. You don't, because if you ignore those feedback, it will be fatal to the brand, right? So, but one thing that TC does is that every feedback, good or negative feedback, they are fully addressed, and customer satisfaction remains a very key delivery at the end of the day.
Oh, fantastic. So my final question will be this, yeah? What has been your most successful partnership, and what has been your worst partnership, or a partnership that you failed at? Maybe you tried to win the partnership, but it did not work out. So your most successful, and then the one where you failed.
My most successful. For maybe because I don't have any NDA with anybody, right? But I may not be able to mention any brand, right? But when it comes to my most successful deals, I would say that it has been me attracting dollar-paying clients for my work. It has also been me being able to close high-level deals. High-level deals. When I say high-level deals, these are not deals of 100,000, 500,000. High-level deals are deals of about 10 million naira and above. Closing deals with high institutional companies, right? Those are very high. Those are actually very big deals that shaped my career. But the worst ones, closing out deals, losing them out. 2022, for example, I can't forget that time. 2023, yeah. I closed a company for Moonshot, and we've sent invoice, sent everything. They've even signed contracts. Then they ghosted us. We did not get payment, we did not get anything. And interestingly, it has now become so embarrassing that the CEO was like, okay, no problem, let's give them a speaking slot, because it's a very big company. And we know that if their CEO or co-founder is speaking, it will have value to us. We give them a speaking slot, they end up not coming, even though they are meant to speak. So those things really, really affected me one way or the other. I felt so sad. But the good was I was able to bring them last year. They spoke last year, they sponsored, and we'll be able to mend that relationship. So, like I said, I would love to mention brand names, but obviously I can't, because some of these things are they are company data that has to be protected.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's understood. That's understood. So thank you so much, Tosin. I've learned quite a lot from this session, and I definitely will be putting some of the insights you've given us into my career as well at TSPC, and then my job as well. Now, to the audience, do you have any questions for Tosin before we call it a day? Okay, so I'll take that. We don't have any questions. You've provided so much valuable insights, and we are really, 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 really grateful. We would also be uploading this session. The session was recorded. We'll be uploading it on our YouTube channel, and then we'll send you a link so that you can also refer to it later on. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining the call. Thank you very much, Tosin, for your time on this call, for taking time from your sabbatical to be here today. And we really do not take it for granted.
Thank you. Thank you you so much. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good evening.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye, everyone.